Good people. We back with another episode, Bridging the Gap. Today we got Aussie Fit,
All right.
always, and of course the illustrious OG.
Yes, in the house.
We are here to entertain, educate, and inform
Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
the good people. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
We
what's
faithful to
going
y'all.
on?
So
At the end of the day,
what we getting into this week, man? How's everybody been feeling this week?
Everything been good, man.
Pretty
you know?
all right.
Good.
Everything been good this week, man. You know?
I'm actually currently going through like a renovation
Mm-hmm.
at home, so there's a lot of that. You know, when you rip everything out and gut everything, and then you waiting on materials to come in, so there's just a lot of waiting and making, letting the time pass.
Okay. OG, how was your week, man?
Man, my week was good, man.
Anything
You know, I'm
eventful?
still on the grind, working, man. You know me, man. Trying to get
sir.
this money,
Yes, sir.
trying to just, stay ahead of this economy, man. You know, it's like every day
Talk
going
about
up, man. You know, you just trying to maintain, man, and just.
Nah, it's really real out here.
Yeah,
Like,
it's real, man.
I don't
You
think people know how real it is.
Yo, it's real out here, man.
It's real.
When you got a car, man, your gas is $3, $4, $5 a gallon, and your rent's going up, and and food. Man, I just went to the store at Walmart, man, got a few things, man. That was like $45. Just
No,
few
that's
little
real,
meats and
though.
stuff, man.
So real.
Just little stuff, man.
Yeah.
45, almost $50, man. You
That's
know?
absurd, man.
Yeah. And I remember I used to go to Walmart, man, and I pick out certain things, and I kind of calculate in my mind, oh, yeah, this is going to cost this and that. You can't do that no more because everything, and Walmart, I don't know why they do that, man, because, they making billions of dollars, but, shoot, you need to cut the people a break, man, but it is what it is, man.
What happened to the Walmart rollback program?
Man,
What
they
happened
don't
to the
even do that, man. Come
Bro,
on, man.
They used to do that.
They used to do it, man, but it's all game, man.
It's all game. They
Everybody-
got us comfortable.
Everywhere you go, man, it's about this money, man. Everybody trying to raise prices and not understanding your salary ain't going up,
Yeah.
but everything else is going up, man. So, it's a game they playing, man. So you just gotta maneuver yourself and say, hey, listen, man, if you gotta cut back this, you cut back this, you stop doing this, you stop doing that, you just and do what you have to do, man. But we all make it, man.
Yeah, we'll be all
we
right.
black people, man. Shoot,
be all right.
we creative, we
I was just telling everybody on set that I cut my Wi-Fi off. That was a hell of a sacrifice I never thought I would have to make. But I was like, man, I really don't need Wi-Fi at my house.
right.
Because
time
most times where I'm at, there's Wi-Fi there.
yeah.
And I was just like, it's not necessary.
Yeah.
It's nice, but it's not water and
I
lights.
think it also depends how often you're in the house.
Yeah, because I'm never home.
Yeah, like like for me, I'll be in the house, so
Yeah.
I need that Wi-Fi, But if you're just in there and out,
Everybody lives
Yeah.
differently, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm out of my house, man. Sometimes early in the morning till late at night, man. So all I want to do is go home, shower, boom, go to bed, man. And then it's my day starting again. I'm up. So most of the time I'm not even.
You're not even over
around.
there.
Yeah,
You living that bachelor life like me, OG.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we just-
yeah.
We
like,
in out. It's like a mission. Like it's a mission. It's
you
a
know,
mission.
it's like, man, I ain't got no woman I got to answer to. I ain't got no
Right.
kids and nothing. So
Man.
I'm living my life, man. Just doing what I got to do, man.
True facts only, man.
Yeah,
Yo, like it got so bad, OG. Last probably 2 weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm never home, and when I say I'm never home, it's not an exaggeration. I'm really never home.
Right.
So I took a shower the other morning. I got out. I saw my towel that I normally dry off with. I was like, bro, there's no way in hell I'm using this towel. Like, so I left from the shower, went into the kitchen. I had to grab a roll of paper towels to dry off. Because I just don't be home and I don't be
Right.
taking care of my chores.
Right.
So I dried off with paper towels, man. I was like, damn. I gotta do better.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
do
yeah.
better. But that's bachelor life in reality.
bachelor life.
That's
Yeah.
bachelor life, man. A
I
lot
got
of
a washing
sandwiches.
machine, man. I got clothes I gotta wash, man. I'll be like, damn, man.
Damn.
I'm gonna get to it. But, it's like,
like sheesh.
Yeah.
Hey, man. But that's what we really going through. We being honest. We being open. We being transparent.
It is what it is.
Some of y'all probably deal with similar experiences,
Yeah.
unless you're living with your mom or
Yeah,
what
if
have
you live
you.
with somebody, then
Yeah.
somebody gonna be behind you. But
Yeah.
a lot of times you living by yourself, man. You on the move, man, because we be out there trying to get this
Trying to
money,
get it.
doing this, going there, and this that.
Right.
Shoot, like my job asked me the other day, "Oh, you think you come early?" Nah, I can't come early. I gotta come at this time
Yeah,
because in the
relax.
morning I'm doing stuff,
Right,
man. I'm moving. You know,
You don't have
Yeah.
You don't have the bandwidth
Right.
to run to your company all day long. Then I come
Right.
home and then it's like it's in
Yeah.
peril. Like, damn, bro. Like, I
Yeah.
should have
like
dedicated an
like
hour to this.
Friday, man, was the first time in this Friday, just passed. I kind of took off. I didn't have to work, so I just was trying to do a few things, man.
Yep.
Just chilling and just went to the movies,
Mm-hmm.
saw the new Denzel, watched the movie Equalizer 3. Just relax, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt funny, man, because I'm used to like moving, man.
Right.
But sometimes you gotta slow down, smell the
It's
roses,
necessary.
man.
It's necessary.
Yeah, it's
to slow
necessary.
down,
You got to.
take a
Man.
pause.
I'm not saying work. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So sometimes you gotta
Right.
sit back and chill. Sometimes, I be thinking sometimes I want to just, be with some fellas, man, just hang out,
Yeah.
just cool out and,
I actually just did that this Saturday.
Oh, you
Boys
did?
Not Out.
Okay.
I went out. I mean, I felt a little bad about it because of like the gym and stuff, but I would say it's necessary.
Yeah, it's necessary.
It's
Sometimes you got to
It's
just
needed.
get around the, fellas, man. Y'all be talking a lot of, just sports.
Where did y'all end up
Whatever
going?
you into, man.
Buckhead bars,
Okay, nice,
Yeah.
nice. It was a vibe.
It was a vibe actually. It was pretty good.
That's what's up, man. That's all that matters,
Yeah,
man.
man. Just
The memories was made and they were cemented,
Right.
So that's it, man. That's all we could ask for.
yeah, man.
But that's enough about us.
Yeah.
Let's get into the topics, man. So what we got? What's the first one we got coming up? We got man, Boosie, man.
Oh yeah.
Yo, this is the life of a baby daddy, man.
Right.
And a lot of you guys are trying to become baby daddies on purpose. I don't know why, but I've talked to several, not one, not two, not that guy over there, several. They yell at me for saying, oh, well, like, dog, I was right here in this very chair. This dude was having his first child. And I was like, yeah, man, so what you think about marriage? He's like, marriage? He's like, yo, I want to be a baby dad. Like, I'm not married.
Dad.
Damn,
I'm
man.
like, that nigga looked at me like I cussed at him.
You cussed at him, man. You
Married?
like you cursed him, like
I ain't doing
you
that.
calling him everything but a child of God, man.
I would not even consider going down the baby daddy route. It's more a matter of, do I want a kid at all? And then do I even want to get married? Do I want a family?
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you're going to have kids, you're going to have a family with those kids. Because they
Right.
need both mom and
But
dad in
people
the
don't
home.
people don't look at it like that. They look at just having kids. I'll be a baby daddy. I'll be a baby mama, and this and that, and that's it. They don't look at the structure of family and how important that is. How important that for the kid to have the mom and the dad there, actively in that child's life.
Right.
So a lot of times people have the concept, oh man, like you said, a lot of brothers is talking about, man, I want to be a baby's daddy. Yeah, you really want to be a baby's daddy, bro?
Right.
See your child whenever, if you get a crazy woman,
If you get a
she'll-
chance.
hey, you get a Tasmanian devil, she'll be talking about, yo, you can't see him, or you got to pay child support, you got to do this and this that. Why you want to put yourself through that stress and aggravation? I know a lot of cats, man, they holding their head, man, my baby mama's this and that, man, she crazy and this and that. Yeah, but you laid down with a fool. Right. When you lay down with somebody like that, you know you're going to have problems. So why create that kind of problem? Right. Why not take the time, find a good woman that you can say that, hey, listen, I'm trying to say I want to be serious about marrying her and building a family the way it is. But in this day and time, people's minds is just is screwed up when it comes down to those kind of things, man. They don't want the family structure and because a lot of it is selfish.
It's the selfishness.
It's the
That selfishness
yeah.
is big, man.
Yeah.
I've actually been talking about that or thinking about that a lot. And it's like, I think as Americans, we can all agree that Americans are generally just more selfish than others.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're like
Yes.
egomaniacs.
They feel entitled.
Yeah. We're
Feel
egomaniacs, you know?
Yeah.
That selfishness breeds so many problems. Because
Yes.
if everybody's focusing on themselves and what they want,
Yeah.
we can never get anything done as a group that's productive.
Right.
So you feel like, back to the original topic, we're talking about Boosie, Lil Boosie, his baby mama drama, which spelled over into how his child is now talking to him, calling him a BAN. You guys could do the acronym in your mind. She's cussing him out, even though he's bought her all this stuff and spoiled her. Like, this is all an effect of being a baby daddy,
Yes.
I feel like if he was a husband in this situation, he would have more say-so and control
Right.
over how his daughter grows up. So
Now, one thing I would add to that though is that guys are scared of being husband because you get as a husband, you're a sucker if you pick the wrong woman.
that's true.
That's my thing. Husband sounds like a sucker role if you pick the wrong woman. So
yeah,
people are
right.
picking the wrong women, and obviously you don't want to get married to her.
Right.
And on top of that, there's a lot of having kids by accident.
Right.
People will have kids by accident, know they will never want to marry that woman, and then now obviously they don't want to be a husband, they don't want to create a family, and you have problems like that. It's dysfunctional.
And then in Boosie's case, he got like 3 or 4 baby mamas. He got like 8 kids, man.
Yeah, he got 8 kids.
Yeah, 8 kids or something like that. Now I think 2 he adopted.
Yeah.
Because somebody, friend of his died. He
Something like
adopted.
that, yeah.
Yeah. So
But
he-
out of those people, somebody's
Yeah.
bound to be crazy.
Yeah,
When you have
yeah.
that, somebody got to give you a
Or
problem.
they might become crazy through the process of
Exactly.
dealing with the baby daddy, baby mama situation.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm not. Yeah, Boosie has to take responsibility, but I'm looking at it in the sense that the woman he had
Chose.
this child with,
Yeah.
he chose.
Right.
You know, because you don't know what that woman might have been putting in that girl's head, or even some things she's seen her father do. Because you know, a lot of times kids are not going to say this, but it's a problem sometimes when you a man and you have kids from different women,
Right.
and one or two of them kids are going to have resentment for you because they said, well, why couldn't you marry my mother? My mother was a good woman, blah, 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 this and that. So then sometimes that stuff spills out in real life. And sometimes kids are not going to always say what's on their mind, but when they get older and certain things and they get of age, you know, then sometimes you might hear that wrath, man, and that's what he's getting. He's getting that wrath from his daughter. For your daughter to call you that, come on, man, that's disrespectful. You have she has no respect for him.
That's just
That's
You know?
very low.
That's very low.
And
You
I
know?
mean, and he's a very disrespectful guy too.
Yeah,
we can't sit here and act like Boosie doesn't live a life that all 3 of us live.
Right.
Right?
He's putting the energy out
Yeah,
there.
he puts the energy out there. He tells their intimate business. He has told us how him and his friends ran a train on his baby mom.
See, that's
And then he goes and then makes a child with the woman that he ran a train
And
on.
it goes back to the models.
How
the
crazy
models
is
we
that?
have for the black community, because Boosie is an influential figure in the black community. We may not say that, okay, well, we have other more important figures or people that are doing the right thing. But Boosie has a louder voice than those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear Boosie before some random lawyer in Georgia.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
Right.
Facts.
And this is the reason why you have to be very careful as a celebrity what you put out there in the world, because you got people we're not supposed to. To me personally, I don't look at celebrities and actors and singers and all that as role models.
Right, but the kids,
But the kids do.
they're going to eat it up.
You're right. They're gonna eat it up. You know, me personally, I think your first role model should be your mother and your father. That's because them the ones that's closer to you.
And you're
generally
right.
love
But guess
you.
what?
This and
When
that.
you could go on Facebook Live and see your dad talking about your mom getting a train ran on.
Right.
She is
And
doing.
then
She
you
is
don't know
doing
what kind of
exactly.
scar.
And-
Yeah, she's a wrong. She's damaged
Right.
because
Right.
she's not even what. She's not even 18.
There you go.
She's a
Oh,
baby,
she's a
and
kid.
she
Wow.
saw. If I saw it, I know she saw it.
And
Right.
she's going to be hurt.
She's
See,
she's
we all
hurt.
try to act like
Yeah,
we're
she's
tough,
hurt.
have this cold exterior. They're hurt.
They're very
Right.
Her
hurt.
dad is doing that on social media, disrespecting the
Right,
mom.
right,
How do you think
right.
they're gonna
Right.
take it?
You know,
Right.
it's not
right.
gonna be roses.
So then,
Right.
So now that begs another side of the story. We can say that she was disrespectful to him, but he gave her that reason to do that.
He gave her that
because
fuel.
certain things that child should have never known that stuff.
Never.
It never should have even came out in public or anything like that.
And then it still goes back to the woman too.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you chose a woman that is gonna be feeding her
Toxic.
evil things, toxic
Right,
things,
right.
and then she's gonna be acting on it. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right,
So
right.
it's a full circle.
Yeah,
But
everybody's a fool.
ultimately, it starts with the man.
Yeah,
Right, right.
He began these games.
Men have to lead it because we're
Yeah,
choosing the
yeah.
woman. We inseminate them.
Yep.
We
Right.
decide where things go. You know,
Right.
if we want a relationship, if we want to get married, it's gonna be on the man. Yeah, we might talk about women that break marriages. Sure, that's there.
Yeah.
But men have to start it. They have to build the structure.
Right.
And at the end of the day, the people that we surround ourselves with are a product of their environment.
Right.
If you create a
Right.
toxic environment,
Right.
guess what?
That's right.
The people are gonna be toxic.
Toxic. That's right. I agree with you.
And now here we are. She's 16, 15 years old. She calling you a bitch ass.
Right.
Nigga. And
Can you imagine?
And now you're trying to. He's so childish. He can't backtrack and see where he went wrong.
He can't even backtrack.
He made a song dissing them, saying that y'all are so ungrateful for all the money I get. Money don't fix everything. Money don't fix everything.
doesn't mean
You gotta
anything.
You gotta ask yourself this.
The money.
Right. You gotta ask yourself this. As a man,
It's so
he got
stupid.
money, but
He's an
wouldn't you
idiot.
want to have
Yes.
self-respect
Yeah, bro.
among your children,
Yeah.
among your baby mamas and all that?
Yeah.
I give you a perfect example. Look at Country Wayne. Country Wayne got 8 or 9 kids.
And he keep it tight over
He
there.
keep it tight.
Yeah.
You don't hear you never hear the baby mamas coming out acting crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he got money. He makes sure that everybody's set up. They got money. They got cars. He pay him child. He make sure his child support and everything is paid.
Right.
You never hear that,
And that's a
because that's
good
a mature
example.
man handling his business.
That's a good example of in the modern generation,
right.
may run into baby daddy or baby mama situation just because
Right.
of the way things are.
Right.
We talk about the women all the time.
Right.
They might want to leave you so and so.
Right.
Yeah.
So you might end up in that situation even if you don't want to end up in it, you know.
Yeah, bro.
But you still have to handle it with maturity
Thank
and be
you.
responsible.
Thank you. Right. And Bootsy wasn't handled with maturity and responsibility.
Run into the internet like a little girl.
you gonna
Right.
say- yeah.
Like a
Come
like
on,
a
you
child.
you act worse than your daughter, actually.
Yeah, that's
You
embarrassing.
know, because you're not really setting an example to her how to handle it. You know, so handle things.
So this is just karma. Like
yeah,
you
that
did this,
and,
bro.
and you know something?
This was years ago,
A
but
lot of
you
people,
still
a
started
lot
it.
of people don't believe in karma, but the things you put out in the universe, it will come back to you in some form.
Facts.
yeah,
All right.
bitch ass nigga.
Yeah, it's gonna come back, you know, and it
I
might,
had to do it,
and
bro.
like I said, it
For
may
TikTok.
like I said, it may come back in a way that you really don't like,
Right.
you know.
And
But
I know that hurt him, bro.
I know that hurt him as
That
a man.
is crazy.
That
like,
would hurt me as a man.
Who
if
even
if
thinks
I was
like
a
that
man
to call your
right.
dad, like your
Right.
dad who cared for you, and call
Right.
him that, bro?
But you gotta
Nah, that's
you
different,
you
bro.
gotta understand. You gotta understand.
That's different.
When you got money doesn't bring a relationship with your kids.
At all.
Love brings relationship. How you could be the poorest. Listen, I know men who didn't have much, but their children respected and loved them because of what that man did for them and how they made them feel.
Right,
You know?
right.
And they and you know what they would say? Hey, man, if I ever get some money or do something, I'm gonna make sure my dad is good.
It's good.
You know, like my daughter said something to me, man, and it brought tears to my eyes. My daughter said to me, she said, Daddy, you know, if I get some money, I'm gonna make sure you such and such, make sure you good on things. And like, you know, I had to call her back, man. I was like, you know something, I appreciate what you said to me.
Yeah, man.
Man, it brought tears to my eyes, man, because, so many kids is growing up, they don't have respect for their parents.
At
And like
all.
I said, listen, I'm not a perfect man, me and my daughter has been at odds. But at the end of the day, one thing she always say to me, she said, Daddy, me and you might get in an argument, disagreement. I might hang up or you might hang up. But she said, one thing I always love and respect about you. You get on the phone, hey, what's going on? You all right? You good? And this and that.
And
I don't carry
Right.
things over.
That's
like,
what it is.
Whatever
That's
I
what it
say, whatever I'm feeling at that point, I say what I got to say. Listen, it's over. Hey, I'm still your dad. I love you. I'm not going to treat you any differently. I'm not going to, because I'm mad with you, I'm not going to do this and this and that and
Yeah,
blah, blah,
that's
blah.
crazy.
No, you say what you have to say, and you stand on what you stand on as a man, and you let it go and you move on and still love your kids. Still be a father, And the father's not just always about money.
Yeah.
It's about love, compassion, being there for your kids when they need you.
Because-
being there to talk to them and to advise them on things that, they may not agree with everything you say. But as a father, you're gonna say, hey, listen, I love you. I'm saying this out of love, you know?
I see that a lot with I don't know. I think this could be just a father thing. Maybe it's just not specific with the black community, but it's more of like, from my perspective, with the African parents, there's a lot of ego when it comes to the fathers, and there's this expectation for you as a kid to follow that ego, But in reality, you're a different person as a kid. You have your own passions. You have your own direction in life. You have different things, So it's more of a responsibility of a parent to foster the path that you're going to create for yourself, as opposed to imposing a reality that is not your own. I see that a lot, especially with the African community. I don't know, the others, but I know at least from my perspective, that's huge, And it causes a lot of friction between kids and their parents. Yeah. And as we get older, keep in mind, it goes back to the community building. If you cut off that connection with the older generation, how are you going to build a community?
Yeah. So, you know something, man? I always tell my kids this, man. I said, when you were born, nobody gave me a parenting book how to be a parent. I had to learn through trial and error. I had to learn from how my parents raised me. And even though they might have made mistakes, I had to look at it and say, okay, my mom and dad did this. I have maybe do things differently. But so there's no thing as a perfect parent. It's just that, you have to be, I have to say this, man. I had my oldest daughter when I was 21 years old. And I knew when I had my daughter, when I looked at her, I knew that I'm a father, I'm a man. I have responsibility to take care of this child. I never looked at it because I was 21 being selfish. Like we talk about how people are very selfish.
Right.
It wasn't about me no more. I couldn't be selfish because I had a life to take care of, So I understand where in this world today, when I see, young men and young women, they having children, and they still want to wear the latest Jordans. They want to pay this and do that and this and that. I couldn't do that. I had to deal with Pampers and milk and keep it in a place where my child could live and things like that. Because I understood that I had this child, and it was my responsibility. God gave me the responsibility to do what I'm supposed to do as a parent. So
another thing that I've noticed too, right, with the fatherhood thing and with the women, I think as men, it's easier for us to focus on our lane because that's pretty much all we know, and it's easier for us to give advice to other men because those are the people that can connect with us on a real level. You know what I mean? So I know there's been a lot of uproar on the internet about how, we talk about black men all the time. We don't talk about the women enough. But I think what we need to start training ourselves to get in the habit of is choosing the right person. Choosing the right person is so important. Because what we do is we get ourselves involved in this sexual lust, and we're going off of after people off of sexual lust. There's no substance in our relationships, and when things go wrong, what do? We blame that person, even though we knew when we got into it that person was not good for us, and we were just going after them because of a lustful desire. I think that's the problem. Because you can blame the women all you want, but then don't go after a woman because of lust. There are plenty of beautiful women that are good, but they're harder to find. Not everybody needs to have a kid.
Thank you. And that goes out to you, brothers, young brothers out here want to be baby daddies and all that. Think before you. You know something? Think with this. Think with the top head, not the bottom.
All right, so let me ask you guys this. In my personal experience and the guys that I'm around that want to be baby daddies, they tell me basically they're of the mindset that there is no good woman for them. So their plan is they don't really craft it out as a long-term plan, but they're just kind of the mindset that, well, I'm going to get a little bit of this from this woman. I'm going to get a little bit of that from that woman, and these are going to be my baby mamas, and I'm going to be good. These are real conversations. Listen, these are real conversations. These are real. They're not going to sit up here on the podcast and say it, but we're in a barbershop, right? these are real conversations that I've heard or been told directly to my face from another grown ass man that is out here. And their whole thing is they want to diversify. They feel as if this whole monogamy play is a scam from the government or that it's all this bullshit that they're trying to trap us into. So they're trying to cherry pick qualities. This woman is great at being a mother. This woman gives money. I'm going to get both of them pregnant and then I'm going to be great. Yeah, and that literally, I've seen it. I've had a. This man was probably 43 when he said this statement. Wow. He told me, my baby moms know they gotta pay my phone bill, because if they don't pay it, if they don't pay my phone bill, they'll never hear from me.
It's a selfish.
And he was dead ass serious.
40-something years.
He was dead ass serious, bro. This shit was not a joke, bro. And there was a 20-something-year-old agreeing with him, like, hell yeah, I'm on that same timing. They know they gotta pay for my shit.
That's my thing too, right? Why have a kid with that person? If you're gonna have that as far as just a romantic relationship with a woman, I don't really mind that. You know, you can have women around or whatever for you want them for, et cetera, et cetera. Once you bring a kid into the situation, it changes everything, because that kid needs both perspectives of life, and they need it in a stable environment, a very stable environment. You have no idea what your baby mama is gonna be doing with that kid.
Yeah. Right.
She's gonna have men coming in and out. If she finds another responsible man, okay, sure, it's lucky. But I see in a lot of these dating shows, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's looking for men. Yeah. They're coming in, and who? Think about it though. What do you think about single women when you see them on dating apps? You're not doing anything, and you might happen to come around her kid in the process while you're doing whatever you need to do.
And then you expose your kids, bringing different men in the house and things around. You got a daughter. You know what this man might try to do to your daughter or your son.
You don't know.
So that's the danger. That's why it's important, if you're going to appropriate with somebody, it's somebody that cares about you and you care about that person. And now getting back to that brother that's 40-something years old, every man ain't a man just because he grown.
There you go.
You understand?
Right.
Right? So to me, that man's mentality is totally childish.
Yeah, a kid.
It's totally, he never grew up to be a man mentally in his mind, because a man at that age shouldn't even be saying no nonsense like that, especially around younger people.
Right.
That's why, you know something, and I understand that me as being an older man, or OG, you know, I have responsibility to the younger men. I can't just say anything coming out of my mouth crazy, because I got young men that are looking for my advice, looking to hear what I'm going to say.
Right.
So I don't believe just because, you know, and I know some older guys who they got their mindset and this and that. But to me, I take my responsibility to mentor and to help young men very seriously.
Right.
That's a very serious thing to me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm on this podcast, and I'm not going, you know, whatever I'm saying to the young men out here, I'm telling them things from my heart, and I'm telling them, I'm going to tell you what's right. I'm not going to tell you something that go out there and do something where it's going to get you in a situation, you know? So I feel like that's my responsibility, and I feel like that I think, and I appreciate, and I only say by the grace of the Most High God that the young men that I come in touch with, they have a respect for me, because they know that I'm gonna tell them things for their best interest, and because I generally care about you. Right. You know, I'm not saying it because it sounds good, but you know, and so when I hear other men who are telling young guys, well, do this and this and that, no.
I know that it can be genuine from their perspective, but it's also the reason why the community is the way it is, right? We have no family structure.
Right.
You know?
Right.
We've gotten used to dysfunction.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it's like breaking that mold needs to happen with us anyway.
Yeah. And,
so hold on.
And I think
well, I've been saying that.
Go ahead, man.
It's just jumping out to me, right? Because I sit in this room, I see all different kinds of brothers, and I know there are some categories of the black community that we don't often walk around and highlight it.
Right.
But it's like we know Like, we know subconsciously I have no business hanging out with this person outside of this
Right.
encounter.
Right.
Like, this nigga got tattoos from here to there. He been incarcerated 15 years.
Yes.
Like, this is a happenstance that I am a barber and I'm cutting his hair. The
Right.
way that I speak, I won't even fit in his conversation.
Right.
The way that I read, like, you know, like,
Right.
if you could even see it through text. If somebody's texting me, hey, you at the shop now? Or whatever slang or colloquial
Right,
shit
right.
they're gonna text you.
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be way different from the college kid that's like, hey, Rollo, you at the shop? Like, these are all black men, but the
Yeah.
nuances, you know?
Yeah.
So that college kid, if he ever runs encounter to a guy that's a trapper, he sells fentanyl, because I got those too. If he ever meets him, they're like oil and water.
Yeah, right.
Now, if
they
he-
just don't mix. Yeah.
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 The fentanyl guy's baby sister hooks up with the college kid, you know what I'm saying? And now it's just like,
There you
he's going to get
go.
dragged to the bottom.
That's it. That's
So we
the
got to
reason.
segregate between
Yeah.
ourselves.
And
like,
I think that's the reason why the black problem is just the problem that affects the entire community. It's like a virus that permeates every single type of the
gonna
black
ruin your
community.
fucking life.
Because
of
it's-
that lust.
It starts also with the women. You know, there's a lot of that lust for more of a bad boy kind of a
Right,
leadership.
right.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
the
right.
bad boy, like we talked about in a previous podcast, that bad boy has a leadership even if it's to avoid.
Right.
Even if he's going nowhere, he's going somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
while a lot of the
Fast.
time with that college kid, they can put themselves in a sandbox
Right.
and get comfortable with not having to really take charge.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
They're a boy.
You know,
Yeah,
and
they're
it's
boy-like.
because of the fact that they've been groomed to accustomed to this kind of a white system,
Right.
where they feel like they don't have so much of a say in things.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time
They're
they won't be
passive.
commanding that presence to really attract the women, and it's just human nature for women to like men that can lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't blame the women.
You know what I mean?
Biologically,
You lead them
they're doing
in the
what
right
they always
direction or
do.
the wrong direction. Women respect leadership, you know, and a lot of women will say, "Oh, honey, I'm just no, I don't care. She might be the most ratchet chick. She might be the most Wall Street chick. Every woman respects a man that is a leader and that
Right.
knows how to lead, knows
Yes.
how to say, listen, no, we're gonna do it this way. And you a lot of times you ain't gotta be a lot of times you ain't gotta be all loud, yeah, man, you know, yeah, you gonna do my no,
Right.
no. You can lead by just being masculine and being who you are as a man. No, babe, we going this way.
Right.
You know? No, well, I think so. No, we doing this.
Another
And
thing
stick
too.
by what you say.
Another thing too, right, is the masculine roles in our community that have been romanticized are hood roles.
Yeah.
They are hood-like type of guys, you know, that we consider to be quote unquote masculine.
Right.
I don't really see a black person saying, "Oh, I want to be like Obama."
Right.
Who really says that?
Right,
If anything,
right.
we even scrutinize this
that's
term
a-
in presidency. Like he
That's
didn't
like
do
a
anything
that's
for
like
the
a
black community.
that's like a knock
You know what I mean? Like
Somebody
who
said
says that?
Who's there?
What the fuck is wrong
Obama
with
who?
this nigga, man?
Obama who?
Yo, that's like
You
hilarious.
know what I
like-
mean? Like
Yeah.
who really romanticizes
Right.
Obama? And Obama was the president. You know
Yeah,
what I
right,
mean?
right.
So
Right.
it's like he didn't really do anything as far as influence for the black community. This is a good example of these stand-up, you know, black men in the
Right,
communities.
right,
We have a
right.
situation with the Cornell
West.
West
Right,
versus
yeah,
Charlemagne the God.
Right.
Charlemagne the God
Is
is
a
I mean who does he constantly deal with? These rappers,
Yeah.
these
Right.
entertainers.
Right.
You know, those are the people that he kind of props up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know Charlemagne the God at the top of my head. I have no idea who Cornell West is. And I'm saying that from somebody who's a purveyor of the black community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at a glance, when you're talking about influence, it's the people that are household names. You know?
Right.
Cornell West is not a household name.
no.
So when you hear
No.
Charlemagne the God arguing with Cornell West, who do you take sides with?
Right.
The guy who has more influence.
Right.
So we need more of our stand-up brothers to
Right,
have more
right.
influence in the community.
Right.
But how do we give them the influence? Because there's so many great black men, and I do deep dives on this kind of stuff because I'm into that. Like That's just my nerdy habit, man.
Right.
I'll go back 100 years in African American history and read about this man who built this town. Like, that's me.
Right.
I know that probably 70% of y'all watching this would never do that shit. It would
Right.
never even
It's not
pique
gonna
your-
happen.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
would
gonna
never.
happen.
It would never
Yeah.
pique your interest. But you know how fast LeBron James can run a 40.
Right.
That's
right.
just like people. We
Right.
like
Right.
entertainment.
Right. We love
So it's like, how do we
entertainment, right.
reverse engineer the interest to be? Oh, let's look for real good black men. Like,
It's
Right.
hard to do that. It's hard to do
because
that
they're spending billions of dollars.
Yeah, you're fighting against a machine.
Yeah, you're fighting uphill.
Right.
Like, these people are like, yeah, but fuck all that. Fuck all that what you're talking about. Look at this chain. Look
Right.
at how big this
Right,
chain
right,
is
right,
that he
right.
got. on
Oh,
the-
this is platinum and all.
So
you
it's
know
like,
what I mean?
The
Oh,
women are
yeah.
brainwashed to it. The men are brainwashed to it.
It's like
It's a race to the bottom.
it's definitely like that's kind of
And-
the reason why.
And I would like to elaborate. Earlier, you said about how the bad boys, even though they're going nowhere fast, they're decisive about going
But
nowhere
there you
fast.
go.
A lot of our systems in America is anti-black men.
Right.
We
Yes.
on this panel know
Yes.
and agree to that, right?
Yes. They'll prop you
course.
up,
Yeah,
but they put a cap on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
a lot of times, if you're a part of the system as a black man, and you're an active part of the system and like respected and like in it and buddy with these people, us as regular black guys, we know you're probably a coon,
Right. If you're
or
not
gay, or something
Yeah.
is wrong.
If you're not
I'm
growing,
never
you're not growing.
Yeah, if I see you buddy with the Jews and the LGBT and the Chinese love you, I know that you did some shit.
There you go.
Somewhere. I don't know what you did, nigga, but you did something.
He did something.
You ain't right.
You know?
You ain't my kind of
It's just
nigga.
the way it is.
Right.
It's just
the
yeah,
way it is.
it's just the way it is. If you're voted class president of some prestigious ass college, that too.
There's some cooning
like
going on.
there's some cooning.
You know?
I hate to be that
Let's be
person.
real,
I
you
hate
know?
to be that person, but
Yeah.
it's true. It's just what we see over and over again.
And guess what?
Or a lot of you guys are getting broke back doors. You know, you guys living alternative lifestyles. You know, these are not men that we grew up respecting.
Right.
That's all I, you know.
Right.
That's why I'm trying to
Listen.
sum it up. So
That's
a lot of us,
right.
a lot of our youth see those things.
Yeah.
They still have the same. We're saying, oh, the kids are soft nowadays. They still have the same biological responses that we
Mindset.
have.
That's
Right.
it.
They're like, I don't want to fuck with none of that shit.
That's the
I'm
thing.
trying to go do this other shit. I'm
There
about to
you
go
go.
fight this nigga across the street. I'm about to rob this nigga.
There you go. You
Like,
can't tame
because
that.
they don't have. There's not a clear path that's laid out. There's no backing to show them. Oh, this is the clear path.
Right.
You can become a barber and then
There
buy
you go.
real estate. Like
Right.
nobody.
Nobody's
Dog,
telling them that.
the
right.
only influence that I had was given to me from a man that was Alonzo Herndon. He was like the first black millionaire in Atlanta. It was told to me by my childhood pastor. That story was only told to me in church. Nowhere in high school or none of my textbooks,
Right.
nothing that was the dominant society let me know that man even existed.
Right.
They were never going to
And they
show
never
me
gonna
that.
let you-
It had to come from another older black man who had his head on right.
Right. I think another thing that I've noticed though, right, is that the stand-up guys, stand-up black men, they easily get frustrated trying to explain their thought process to the upcoming generation. There's a lot of stubbornness and unwillingness to learn the right way to do things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't want to conform. People don't want to look corny. You know what I mean? We just talked about if you succeed in you cooning.
Yeah.
That's the correlation we just made.
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah.
are ways around that system. You don't
Yeah.
have to be cooning, but that's the obvious and the well-trodden path.
Yeah,
You know
that's what
I
we
mean?
think of you, nigga.
So it's like it's just the way it's a mindset. It's not like we're saying
you
that
Jake from
everybody-
State Farm ass nigga.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like if it's
We
not like
know
we're saying
you.
that everybody is doing that, but what I'm saying is that's the perception we have. So if we can see that as men, what do you think the women feel?
Yeah.
Right.
Women
Yeah.
are hypersensitive
Yeah.
to who's the most powerful man in the room.
Yeah,
Right.
they
If
can
they think
smell
you
it.
cooning,
Right.
they're gonna lose interest.
Right.
No,
Right.
You know.
Women are, man, y'all be on point.
They be
I walked in
picking,
somewhere,
you know?
I was at a QT late night. I'm eating salad right now.
Uh-huh.
So went in to buy my salad, and this woman looked at my keys, and she was like, "Man, you got a lot of keys. What do you do?" I was just like, "Damn,
It's in nature.
my keys gave
It's
it
in
up."
nature. It's
They be
survival.
on point, bro.
Yeah, women.
They be on point.
They have that.
I never would have thought in a
that,
million years to look
inquisitiveness
at a
and-
man's keys.
Right. I mean, they're gonna look at it from a perspective of, yo, my entire bloodline and generation is dependent on this man's situation.
Right,
So
right.
if his keys are not in order,
Yeah.
I ain't going for it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
That hit
right.
me like a rock.
You know, like a woman. You know, like an older man told me. He said, a young man, he says, woman, look at your potential to be wealthy or to be an achiever.
Be the man.
You know, right, to be the man. And so, and when you look at it, I'll give you a perfect example. If you look at your grandparents and your mom and dad and this and that, it was a reason why your mom chose your dad and your grandma chose your grandpa.
Of course.
Because they knew that, hey, yeah,
That possibility.
right, he got a potential to do something.
And they're
if
hypersensitive
and
to
right,
it.
they're hypersensitive, and they're saying they might. Well, shoot, I know he might not know everything, but if I give him a little push and I can, inspire him to this and that, he gonna do something great.
Right.
He's gonna be that provider. He's gonna be that great provider. He's gonna be that great businessman. He's gonna do this and so forth like that. So that's what you want to see. You want to deal with a woman, be with a woman that sees potential in you. See, not just see, oh well, because you think you're a thug, you think you hard. Let that woman want to see something in you that is going to draw her to, because she, like my man just said, she's looking at her future.
Right.
What kind of children she gonna have, and everything like that. So it's a lot. That's why you gotta walk in your masculinity. A lot of times, this society is like we said, is anti-man,
like to knock you down.
anti-black man in
Yeah, they do
particular.
definitely like to
But we have to walk. We gotta work that harder, and we gotta strive that harder to be the men that we should be.
Right.
Because first of all, the Most High God made us men, made us in His likeness and image. So He wants us to walk as men. He didn't give us nothing else to be but to be men. So we have to look at that also and just be the men that we can be, man. Be the best at what we do, man. Because we have a big responsibility. We have to lead our women. We have to lead our children. We got to lead the world, really.
Yeah.
So
That's real. We
real,
have
man.
to literally
It's
lead the
real.
world. Like it rests on our shoulders.
yeah, it does. It does.
Because I'm starting to get to that age where I'm starting to realize that there's a burden of death that I'm gonna have to deal with, even in my immediate family. A lot of people that I know are gonna die.
Right.
And then all of their dreams, all of their desires will rest on whichever soul stays alive.
Right. Right.
That burden is one that a man has to carry.
Yeah. And sometimes it's a heavy burden. Just like you see your parents, you see I heard a guy. He owns a Philly cheesesteak place in Atlanta. He started off as doing something, but he owns a big Philly cheesesteak. I forget his name. I was reading about him the other day.
Dave's.
Dave's. Yeah, Dave's. And he was giving this story. He said that his father, before his father died, his father told him, he said, son, I don't want you to be like me. I don't want you to work all your life and have nothing. I want you to be more than what I am. And to me, that was great advice from your father, man. When your father can say to you that, don't be like me, be greater than me. And he took that and he built from that and became, I think he married the chick from the sloppy vegan.
Yep.
Yeah, the owner there. Yeah. And they've been married for, for many years and have children and everything like that.
That's amazing. I
But
need
that's
to
a
watch
great
that interview.
Huh?
I need to watch that interview.
Yeah. It was really really powerful what he said. And it made me just respect his father so much, because that takes a lot for a man to say, son, I see the potential. You could be better than me. Right. And that's what we should tell our children. Every generation should look to better the next generation, Right. So and that's a responsibility when you become a man, be a father. Rather you married father or single father, you have a responsibility to raise your children, to give them something that you may not have. Make things easier for them. Why bring children in the world if you're gonna make things hard for them? If you don't have the mindset to say, listen, I have a child, I want my child to be better than me, then what you having kids for?
Right.
What are you having kids for? It doesn't make any sense.
That's the question we have to ask ourselves.
Right.
I think it's just on that note, I feel like that question just really sums up the entire conversation.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, it really does.
You know.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap that segment. You guys can always leave your comments, questions, and concerns, or future topics you want us to touch on in the comment box below. Always.